I couldn't be happier to be filming this video today because it means that it's nearly Christmas, my favourite time of the year. If you are wondering what to get your baby or toddler for Christmas, starting with Advent through to stockings and everything else, then this is the series for you. I am going to be bringing you several videos over the coming weeks all about the best gifts to get your babies and toddlers, tried and tested by me. Today we are talking all things Advent. I have got a mixture of DIY Advent calendars, if you like, ones that you can put together yourself, and some ready-made pre-bought Advent calendars. I have scoured the internet to get the very best Advent calendars out there for babies and toddlers to show you, because believe me, there are a lot of ones that you don't want to spend your money on. Let's get started with our first Advent calendar idea. This is a DIY Advent calendar idea, and one that has been really popular over Pinterest and Instagram over the last couple of years, and with good reason. We actually did this Advent calendar with our little boy last year when he was 2, but it would be suitable for babies as well, and that is a book Advent calendar. So the idea with a book Advent calendar is that you give books every day leading up till Christmas. Now, if you've got a smaller baby, what you may want to do is, instead of giving one book every day, you could give one book a week in the weeks leading up to Christmas, and that just means that they're not too overwhelmed with getting a book a day. Because if I'm honest, 24 books is quite a lot of books, even if you have an older child. You can get really great books like these for babies. This is just one of those touch and feel books with the different textures on each page, so they're really nice. That's from Dorleen Kindersley. I will link all of these down below for you if you want to buy them for your baby. We've got one of these classic That's Not My books. These are from Usborne Books, and I'm sure you will have heard of these before. They are fantastic, and again, it's just one of those touchy-feely books. This Advent obviously is suitable for older children as well, so you can include books like this. This is one of our absolute favourites. It's Dear Santa, so it's set up like the story of Dear Zoo, which is a children's classic, but of course this is the Christmas version. You don't have to include Christmas books, they could be winter books as well, so books like this that are just winter themed, or classics like this one, The Snowman. And you know, you don't actually have to go out and buy a load of books. You can do if you want to, and I'm going to give you a tip for that in a second. But if you've got any books from your childhood lying around, this was one of my absolute favourite books from when I was a child at Christmas, and I'm so lucky that my mum kept all of my Christmas books, because I just rewrapped these and gave them to Finley last year. You can also, if you have a baby that's maybe this is their second Christmas and they had some books last Christmas, they won't remember them, so you can rewrap them and use them again. It's a great way of saving money, and your baby still gets the enjoyment and the fun out of it. Now, I talked about a good way of saving money with books, and you can actually buy books like this in a big pack from shops like TK Maxx and HomeSense. I know obviously at the moment we can't get into shops, but hopefully we will be able to before too long. Obviously Amazon is also a great place to go. I have my Amazon store linked down below with all my recommended products, including a whole books section, and I'm going to add some winter books to that section, Christmas books for you as well. But just a good tip if you buy a big pack of books. Advent calendar idea number 2 is also one that's great for babies, and it involves toys like these. Now I will get them out to show you a little bit better. These are actually bath toys. They came from Dunelm last year. You can see they've got the little hole in the bottom there for squirting water. I would actually never recommend using toys like this in the bath unless you want to throw them away after a week, because they can trap mold and mildew in, which isn't the best for using with babies. And we've got presents, Santas, candy canes, robins, and We've got a polar bear in here as well. We do have more actually, but they seem to have gone walkabout somewhere, so I'll have to try and source those out because these would be perfect for my 11, almost 12-month-old this Christmas. These are a great thing to wrap up individually and give one a day in the days leading up to Christmas, or again you could do one every other day or one a week if you don't want to overwhelm your baby. If you have an advent calendar house maybe with drawers in like this one, then you could put the presents inside if they would fit, or else you could wrap them up all individually and just keep them in a box or a basket and your baby can pick one out each day. This next idea is perfect for babies and toddlers and older children as well. And it's one of these, a felt Christmas tree. It's too big to get in the frame, but you get the idea. So the way that these work, very simple. They have little felt decorations that can stick on and pull off. So the great thing about these trees is that you could give your child a blank tree on the first day of Christmas along with, or the first day of December, along with one of the decorations to stick on, or maybe you could give 2 or 3 just so that they've got a bit more to do. And then each day you can give them more and more decorations to stick on the tree. And then they don't have to stay that way, of course. They can move them around and swap and change them as the days go on. This tree has got a little hook on the top so you could easily put it onto a wall, hang it onto a wall, or I've even seen people stick them onto their patio doors. They work quite well. If you haven't got enough decorations to give one a day or multiples a day, then it's so easy to buy some felt and Velcro from Amazon, and then you can just make your own little decorations to stick on the tree. This one came from Hobbycraft last year. I did have a look before I filmed this video and it's actually out of stock, but I will link a similar one with a similar price down below for you because this was really inexpensive. Such a fun idea, especially for slightly older babies and toddlers. One of the most coveted advent calendars over the past few years has been the Happy Land Christmas Advent Calendar, or I think in the US it's the Fisher-Price Advent Calendar, the Little People. And I'll put a picture up on the screen here so you can see it. You cannot get them for love nor money nowadays unless you're willing to pay a pretty penny. I think that I found one online for £45, which, you know, is probably not what you want to be spending, especially when the characters may not have that much longevity. But never fear, I have an alternative idea for you, which actually I think is a better idea, and it's this. A wooden nativity set. Now this works in the same way as the Happy Land Advent Calendar because that has different pieces, different Christmas pieces that you would get out. You get one each day and you can set up and make a little Christmas scene. I think this is a really nice idea because it's something that you can keep for years to come. This one comes from Big Jigs Toys. It was reasonably expensive, but nowhere near as expensive as the Happy Land Advent Calendar. And the best thing about this is that it's wooden and it can be used again and again. So the idea with this, of course, is that you would maybe set up the nativity scene beforehand, and then, as with all the others, that's how advent calendars work, of course, you would give them a different character each day. I'm guessing this is Joseph. Yeah, so we've got characters like this. Here's Joseph, or the little man himself there, baby Jesus. So lots of different characters. In fact, I'll show you on the back. It tells you all the different pieces that you get. And of course, like with the others, if you don't get 24 pieces, you don't have to give one a day. That can be quite a lot, especially if you are combining these non-chocolate advent calendars with sweet treats or other things. Alternatively, you could alternate between giving characters from something like the nativity scene and these little ones that I just showed a minute ago. I have got 2 pre-bought advent calendars to show you in a minute. They are the absolute best ones that I could find for your babies and toddlers really this year. But before we do that, I want to show you something that I found online on Etsy by a lovely local maker here in the UK, and I think it's a brilliant idea for an advent present. They are these gorgeous crayons that are in Christmas shapes. We've got stars, presents. angels, rocking horses, Christmas trees, Santa's sleighs, so many different ones. You can tailor the amount of crayons that comes in the pack, so you don't have to get this many if you don't want to, but I'm going to do this for Finley for his advent this year and give him a different crayon each day. He's going to love it. He's just started to get into drawing now at 3 years old, although I know lots of toddlers and younger children absolutely love drawing as well. Obviously you wouldn't want to give this to your child if they were still putting things in their mouths, because they may be a choking hazard. These were really, really inexpensive. I will put the price up on the screen, as I'm sure I have been doing all throughout this video, but they are by Follow the Rainbow, and as I said, it's a UK Etsy brand, really worth checking out. Okay, here are my 2 top picks for pre-bought advent calendars for babies and toddlers. It's quite hard to find good ones, if I'm honest. A lot of the advent calendars out there are geared for older children, I would say at least 4 years old plus. So it can be a challenge, and I don't want you to have to buy rubbish. I certainly don't want to buy rubbish, and I really didn't want to have to buy plastic little tatty bits that are going to get thrown away after Christmas. Saying that, my first one, maybe a little bit like that, but we have to indulge our children's interests, don't we? And it's this one. This is the Peppa Pig advent calendar. I got mine from Amazon, and I will link it down below for you. They are similar price everywhere, although I think Amazon was the cheapest place that I found it. So it comes like this with a little Christmas scene underneath, and the idea is that you get a different character every day and that you can build up a little Christmas scene or play with them however you like. I'll show you a little picture on the back there so you can see what comes in the advent calendar. Again, it's Santa and then obviously the Peppa Pig characters all dressed up in their Christmas gear. The trouble with advent calendars like this is on some days you get, let's say, not the best gifts inside each box. You don't every day get a Peppa Pig character, for example. But I think that this, along with a chocolate advent calendar, which is what Finley will be getting this year, or if you're doing no chocolate, then you could do something like the Ella's Kitchen little gingerbread men instead. That paired with this will make a great advent gift. And then the last advent calendar is a really great one, and one that I think we will probably be saving for Finley until next year, not because it's not suitable for him this year, but just because obviously we already have this one. It's the Playmobil 123 advent calendar. So Playmobil 123 is Playmobil for younger children, so they tend to have much bigger parts. So this is obviously another Christmas scene, and then the nice thing about this really is that it shows you on the back there everything that you get, and it tells you which day you get the different things on. Now obviously you won't want to show that to your child, but it's great for you because you can do a little bit of forward planning and maybe know the days that they're going to get something that's not quite as good. So this is what the advent calendar looks like with all the different boxes. You do also get a little booklet that has the different items on the different days, so you obviously don't have to keep that great big box sleeve. So let's just have a look. For example, on day 3 you get a piece of fence. On day 10 you get a straw bale. But then on the other days you get some really great things. So I think that what I'm going to do is on those days I may just have an extra little treat, or you could get an extra little present and wrap it up and put it next to the advent calendar so they've got an extra thing to open. And that's the really nice thing about having something like this, so you can pre-plan your advent journey. If you are in the Christmas spirit now and want to watch more videos, then click onto this video here or this video here, depending on the age of your child, and you can come Christmas shopping with me. I know the shops are not open at the moment, but hopefully it will give you some great ideas for gifts that you can get for your baby or toddler for Christmas. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Happy Christmas, and I will see you all next time. Bye.